Welcome to our thrilling series on the present tenses in English. In this all-inclusive guide, we'll explore the captivating world of the present continuous and simple present tenses, discovering when and how to use them to talk about actions happening now, habits, and more. Get ready to boost your language skills and communicate with greater accuracy and confidence. So, find a comfy spot, and let's jump into the world of present tenses together. The present continuous tense. Actions happening now. First up, let's talk about the present continuous tense. We use this tense to describe actions that are happening right now or around the time of speaking. It's like a snapshot of what's going on at the moment. To form the present continuous tense, we use the present tense of the helping verb be, followed by the main verb with an ing ending. For example, I am working. You are working. He, she, it is working. We are working. They are working. To make a negative sentence, just add not after the helping verb be. I am not working. You are not working. He, she, it is not working. We are not working. They are not working. And to ask a question, switch the helping verb be and the subject. Am I working? Are you working? Is he, she, it working? Are we working? Are they working? Keep in mind, in casual speech, we often use contractions like I'm, you're, he's, isn't, and aren't to make our sentences sound more natural and flow better. Using the present continuous tense, when and why. Now, let's explore the different situations where we use the present continuous tense. 1. Actions happening right now. It's raining outside. I'm not wearing a jacket because it's warm. 2. Actions happening around the time of speaking, but not necessarily at the exact moment. I'm reading a fascinating book about ancient civilizations. She's learning Italian and practicing yoga this month. 3. Definite plans in the near future. I'm meeting my friends for dinner tonight. They're flying to Paris next week for a business conference. 4. Describing a scene in a story or play. As the curtain rises, the actress is standing center stage, holding a bouquet of roses. 5. Frequently repeated actions with always, usually to express annoyance or criticism. He's always losing his keys. I'm always making that mistake in my calculations. The simple present tense, habits and general truths. The simple present tense is used to talk about habits, general truths, and states. It's like a regular occurrence or a fact of life. To form the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb for all subjects, except for the third person singular, he, she, it, which gets an s or s ending. For example, I work, you work, he, she, it works. We work. They work. To make a negative sentence in the simple present tense, we use do not or does not before the main verb. I do not work. You do not work. He, she, it does not work. We do not work. They do not work. And to ask a question, we use do or does before the subject. Do I work? Do you work? Does he, she, it work? Do we work? Do they work? In everyday speech, we often use contractions like don't, doesn't, and don't I to make our sentences sound more natural. Using the simple present tense, when and why. Now, let's explore the different situations where we use the simple present tense. 1. Habits or routines. I brush my teeth twice a day. She goes to the gym every morning before work. 2. General truths or facts. The sun rises in the east. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. 3. Scheduled events in the near future, especially for travel. The train leaves at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. Our flight departs at noon on Friday. 4. Quoting from books, signs, or recent messages. The sign says, "No smoking allowed." In her email, she mentions that she's coming to town next week. 5. Newspaper headlines. Government announces new tax reforms. Local team wins championship. 6. Dramatic storytelling or sports commentary. He takes the ball, dribbles past 2 defenders, and shoots. 7. Conditional sentences, type 1, and time clauses. If it rains tomorrow, we'll have to cancel the picnic. When she finishes her homework, she'll call you. Verbs that don't usually like the ing form. Some verbs, because of their meaning, don't normally wear the ing ending. They're like the rebels of the verb world, preferring to stick with their simple present tense form. These verbs include 1. Verbs of the senses, involuntary actions. Feel, hear, see, smell, taste. 2. Verbs expressing feelings and emotions. Adore, despise, dislike, hate, like, love, prefer, want, wish. 3. Verbs of mental activity. Believe, forget, know, mean, realize, recognize, remember, suppose, think, understand. 4. Verbs of possession. Belong, have, own, possess. 5. Other verbs. Appear, concern, consist, contain, cost, include, matter, seem. For these verbs, we usually use the simple present tense, even when talking about actions happening at the moment of speaking. For example, I see a beautiful sunset. Not, I am seeing a beautiful sunset. She seems upset about something. Not, she is seeming upset about something. But, as with any good rule, there are some exceptions and special cases where these verbs can put on their ing disguise. We'll talk more about those in the next section. Exceptions and special cases, when verbs can wear ing. Even though some verbs don't usually like the ing form, there are times when they can wear it, usually with a slight change in meaning. It's like they're putting on a costume for a special occasion. 1. See and hear in the ing form. I'm seeing the doctor tomorrow, meaning visiting or meeting. The committee is hearing the proposal next week, meaning listening to or considering. 2. Think in the ing form. I'm thinking about the book I just read, meaning pondering or considering, not expressing an opinion. 3. Have in the ing form. I'm having a great time at the party, meaning experiencing or enjoying. 4. Taste and smell in the ing form. The chef is tasting the soup to check the seasoning, meaning testing or sampling. Why are you smelling the milk? Does it smell sour? Meaning sniffing or checking the odor. In these instances, the ing form emphasizes the ongoing nature of the action or experience. It's like the verb is saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm doing something right now. The simple present tense in conditional sentences and time clauses. The simple present tense has a special job in conditional sentences, type 1, and time clauses. It helps express future actions or events. It's like a time traveler, talking about the future in the present. Conditional sentences, type 1. If it rains tomorrow, we'll postpone the picnic. Unless you study hard, you won't pass the exam. In these sentences, the simple present tense in the if or unless part shows a possible future condition, while the main part uses a future form, like will or won't, to describe the result. Time clauses. When she arrives, we'll start the meeting. I'll call you as soon as I finish my homework. Here, the simple present tense in the time clause, starting with when, as soon as, before, after, etc., refers to a future action or event, while the main part uses a future form to express the related action or result. Stative verbs, the steady eddies of the present tenses. Stative verbs, which express states or conditions rather than actions, are like the steady eddies of the present tenses. They prefer to stick with their simple present tense form and don't usually go for the ing ending. These verbs include those related to the senses, emotions, mental states, and possession, like see, love, understand, and own. But, like a steady eddy with a few ripples, there are times when these verbs can put on the all-ing form to express a different meaning or emphasis. I'm loving this new album, emphasizing enjoyment or enthusiasm. He's being very understanding about the situation, emphasizing a temporary behavior or attitude. In these cases, the I-ing form highlights the ongoing or temporary nature of the state or feeling. It's like the stative verb is saying, hey, I can be exciting too. The present tenses in narratives and commentaries, bringing stories to life. The simple present tense is like a storyteller, often used in narratives and commentaries to create a sense of immediacy and engagement. This technique is called the historical present, or narrative present. It's like the story is happening right here, right now. Examples. In a book summary, the hero faces countless challenges, but he never gives up. In the end, he triumphs over the villain and saves the day. In a sports commentary, she kicks the ball, it soars through the air, and goal! The crowd goes wild. Using the simple present tense in these contexts draws the audience into the story or event, making them feel as if they're experiencing it in real time. It's like the story is unfolding before their very eyes. The present tenses and adverbs of frequency. How often does it happen? Adverbs of frequency, like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never, are like the best friends of the simple present tense. They help describe how often habitual actions or states occur. Examples. I always brush my teeth before bed. He rarely eats junk food. They sometimes go camping on weekends. When using adverbs of frequency, it's important to put them in the right place in the sentence. They usually go before the main verb, but after the verb to be. She often travels abroad for work, before the main verb. He is rarely late for appointments, after the verb to be. So, when you want to talk about how often something happens, just grab an adverb of frequency and pair it with the simple present tense.